Okay, so this afternoon, our deputies responded to a call for service in the area of Morris Lane and Radar Hill Road in the valley. There was a family member had called regarding another family member that was creating altercation at the residence. Deputies responded to that residence initially. The subject had left and gone to his residence, which is across Radar Hill Road. And about 3:25 this afternoon, the deputies confronted that individual in the driveway of the residence, which resulted in a shooting and the male individual's deceased. No deputies were injured during the shooting. And then have Chief Hedrick here they're assisting with the investigation. I'll turn it over to him.
So just anytime we have a major incident like this in our community, your local area first responders collaborate and work together. Primarily for the Rapid City Police Department, our role has been taking over scene security to protect the integrity of the investigation. So Rapid City Police Department is currently there working with the Highway Patrol to block off the scene and ensure a smooth transition over to the Division of Criminal Investigation for their the work that they're going to do.
And the Division of Criminal Investigation is also assisted by the Meade County Sheriff's Office, which is in the release.
Yeah, I had a few clarification questions.
Sure.
So the call, when did the actual call come in about?
The call came in at 2:58.
Okay, and that was across the street from where the shooting happened?
That's correct.
Okay, got it. And when they called, did they mention that he was unwanted because he had a gun? Did they mention he was armed or could be armed?
I don't have those details at this time.
Okay. And then it said, had he walked out of his house with the gun, or was he already in the driveway?
Well, the shooting had occurred in the driveway. He was armed at that time. Early information indicates that he was suicidal and intentionally provoked the confrontation with law enforcement to engage in the shooting.
I guess what I mean is, like, when the deputies pulled up, was he like already in the driveway, or had he kind of come out of a car, come out of a building?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
That's okay. Okay. And how many deputies responded initially?
There were 4 deputies on scene initially.
And did they go, right from the initial call to across the street, or did they realize, okay, maybe this is a bigger deal, and did they call for backup then?
Yeah, I don't have those details yet.
Okay.
As you know, these things are always very fluid on the front side,
Yes.
so a little cautious to get too far into the details because they change as witnesses get interviewed and the scene gets sorted out. And also, I want to be sensitive to the ongoing investigation by the DCI.
Great. And then it said the man leveled the gun in the direction of people on the scene. Were his family members at the scene? Had they come out of the other house at that time, or was it just the deputies?
There were some other citizens in the area.
Oh, okay.
Who that all was, I don't have that information at this
Okay,
time.
that's fine. And when you say level, do you mean like pointed it, or just like kind of waist level, or?
Again, I don't have that level of detail for
Okay.
you. Yeah.
And did he die at the scene, or was he transported to the hospital, or was it?
I don't have that for you either, sorry.
That's fine.
Yep.
I think that is all. And do you have any other information about what the initial 911 call said, like specifically how he was disturbing?
Well, again, he had been involved in an altercation with another family member at that residence.
Okay.
And they called for law enforcement's assistance. That's why we responded.
Okay, with like a physical altercation, or was it
That's
just?
correct.
Oh, okay, got
Physical and verbal.
it. Okay, and did they say? Okay, and they said he was intoxicated also. Got it. Okay. Any other information about that initial call that came in?
Anything else, Don, you can think of?
I don't think so. I think a situation like this just highlights how, a call for service can turn from crisis de-escalation to moving into more of a life-saving or life-threatening situation very quickly. And I can tell you that all the first responders that are up on the scene are doing everything we can to work through this in the most efficient way possible.
And the deputies did render aid to the individual after he was shot, and then handed that off to medical once they arrived on scene.
And will the analysis part or the review part still be handled by the Minnehaha County Sheriff's? I'm
Right.
sorry, State's Attorney.
Yeah, we're going to follow that existing protocol where the state's attorney, Minnehaha County in this case, what happened in Pennington County, will review the investigation.
Okay. Do you know where he was shot on his body?
I don't have that information.
Okay. Anything else you guys have?
So it was family across the street for the original call, then he went back to his residence across the street, correct?
So if you ask, yes, that's correct. And so the original call was on Morris Lane, and the residence was across the street, kind of at the intersection of Morris Lane and Radar Hill Road.
So, I'm sorry, it went from the west side of the street to the east side of the street?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.